Welcome everyone to the PGE Faces of America Monologue Festival #2. We are glad to have you here. Thanks for coming in. We're going to wait a few moments as all of you enter the room. Have your glasses of wine or whatever you're drinking ready, and we'll be with you shortly. Thanks for coming.
What Faces of America means to me in 3 words.
What Faces of America means to me in 3 words.
In 3 words.
Bravely sharing stories.
Funny.
Patriotic, theatrical nationalism.
Is hearing new perspectives.
Provocative.
Everybody has rights.
And sexy.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Playground Experiment Faces of America Monologue Festival #2. My name is Mike Lesser. I am the artistic director of the Playground Experiment, and thank you all for being here in this wonderful, wonderful Saturday night. On my right or my left, I have the amazing Ollie Fielding, who is our festival coordinator. Give a huge thank you to Ollie.
Thank you, Mike. It's great to be here.
Before we begin this evening, we'd like to start our event as we start all of our events with a land acknowledgement. We would like to begin by acknowledging that we are on traditional lands of Indigenous people, and we pay our respects to our elders, both past and present. We in New York are at the Lenape people. If you do not know what people you are on land of, we have a map here that you could look at really closely, freeze frame it, take a picture of it, look at it later. And we would like to thank everybody for being here. Huge thank you to Ali for all of his work for this festival. We are super excited out there. We are so excited. We see all of your beautiful names. I see all of our writers out there. Huge applause for all of you that are there. And Ali, why are we doing this?
Well, I mean, we did this last year. We had our first Monologue Festival in November last year. We chose the time between the election day last year and then Thanksgiving to celebrate the faces of America and the voices that are out there. And we knew it even back then. We were thinking that maybe this could become an annual thing, except we didn't really expect to be doing it over Zoom. We were expecting it very much to be in a theater just like it was last year. But there's one incredible advantage, I think, in this medium that this year has given us, which is that we're really able to welcome all the people that couldn't make it to New York. So all the amazing talent that is around the US, they're able to join us tonight, and they're able to be part of the occasion. And that includes our phenomenal writers that are really from everybody and everywhere. So thank you. Mike asked me after last year's event, I was one of the writers that was a participant in last year's event, and Mike asked me if I'd kindly help him to coordinate this year's event, which has been an incredible privilege. I just want to take a moment and just say we do have a program for this evening. The information for that is coming to your screen now. You may have received an email with the PDF earlier today if you were signed up for this Zoom. But if you didn't get that email, then you can go to the web address that's on your screen now. That's thepge.com/s/FOA2 program.pdf. You have to be careful of the capital letters, otherwise that won't work. If that's not quite easy enough for you, you can just go to thepge.com, find the event, click on the event, and at the very bottom of the page, there is a button. You can click on the button and it will take you to the program. But it's all there for you. So please have a look through our virtual program. It will also have some information about what we did to put tonight together. Mike, do you want to give us the details on what it took to get all these monologues ready for tonight?
It took a lot of people, and a lot of people aside from Ali. We had an amazing selection committee who helped us. We had over 200 monologues submitted for this festival. And out of those 200, we selected these wonderful 25 that you will see tonight, and we had 15 people on the selection committee. They were past participants of the festival. They are actors within the PGE community and also writers within the PGE community. And it took us a little longer than we thought because there were so many good monologues and so much going on. So we are super happy, and we thank you. And all of our selection committee members, we are super happy about that. So it took us a little longer to select them, but we were super happy with what came about of it. The other thing that we wanted to do when we decided to do this last year is we decided it's always amazing to talk about America and to talk about the people and to talk about faces, but if we as a company don't put our action into what we're doing as artists, we're not really doing our job. So we decided every time we do this event, it will always be a donation event for a charity. This year, we've decided to do Black Lives Matter. So anything that you donate in this evening tonight to our Venmo page or our PayPal, it will go 50% will go to Black Lives Matter. Last year, we raised I think it was over $400 for the ACLU. We're hoping to do that again this year, if not more, because there's a lot of you here. So let's see what we can do. We are super excited about that. And again, our Venmo is at the PGE. And you can just use our email addresses, theplaygroundexperiment@gmail. And again, if you click on that program, it's in the program, so you can look all that information there. One thing we will ask you to do is hold your applause until the end of the event in the chat on all of you attendees, because we are using the chat internally to help make sure our actors have their cues. So at the end, we will ask you to applaud and do as many shout outs as you possibly can at the end. Is that all we have to say? Because I think I'm talking too much, because I think there are much more.
I think we wanted to welcome the actors just to say.
Before we do that, we have one person we'd like to welcome before the actor. We have to. Let's give it up for our man behind the booth. Give it up for Thomas Dieter, everyone. Thomas, come on out here. Thomas Dieter is going to be helping us make all of the magic happen. We appreciate it. We appreciate you. We thank you. We love you. We love you. And now I want you to see these beautiful actors. Oh, I did have one other thing I want to say. That beautiful video that you saw before at the beginning, all of those beautiful faces that you saw were our 5 directors. They were directors. They had directed each of the sections, and we are super happy to have them. Thank you, our directors. And throughout the evening, you will be seeing videos with our writers as well. Some of them were a little camera shy, so not all of the writers are there, but some are camera shy. But that being said, I want you to see the beautiful faces of these beautiful, gorgeous PGE actors. Actors, show yourselves. Only 2. Wow. Oh, there they are.
No.
Give it up. This is the Faces of America.
These
And
are the faces.
do me a huge favor, actors. Unmute yourselves, and let's do a huge before we start. Let's applaud and scream and shout for our audience and our actors and our audience and our writers who are out there. Thank you. Thank you, directors. Thank you, writers. And on that, I think it's time for us to begin the show. Thank you guys so much for coming. Actors disappear. And I'm going to give it up to Thomas to start our show. Thank you guys for coming out.
When I think about Faces of America, 3 words come to my mind.
What Faces of America means to me.
Acceptance.
What Faces of America means to me in 3 words.
Better, not bitter.
Equality.
Compassion, humanity, commonality.
Telling our stories.
And respect.
This kid I look after. You walk around the house and there's 1-foot layer of toys you have to wade into. It's like a toy store exploded around here. It's crazy. I don't know how she could possibly play with them all. She's only 6 months old and already she has more possessions than I've had in my entire life. I miss some of my things. Not my toys, but, well, it's not that I miss my things exactly. It's the memories inside them. You see, I store my memories in things. A spoon. When I was 8, my sister Sophia hit me in the head with a spoon so hard I could see shooting points of light. I started to cry, but my mother wasn't there. And it was best to cry around my mother because my father wouldn't do anything. But my father came and picked me up and sort of bounced me up and down like I was an infant. I don't think he knew what else to do, but he wanted to do something. And that was the last time he ever picked me up. I would think about that every time I saw that one spoon. And I could tell which one it was. It was bent. Sophia hit me so hard. And I would be happy every time I saw it because I store all of my memories in things. Stupid girl. I should store my memories in my head like other people. I had to leave my home. I had to leave all of my things behind, but I took one thing only, a bowl. It's a simple little ceramic bowl. I packed it carefully, putting a few meager clothes around it so it wouldn't break, and I carried it all the way here. My mother made the bowl. She's very smart, my mother. Brilliant with the cello. Very bad at pottery. And she kept trying to learn. She would take classes, she would practice. She just didn't have the talent for it. But she made this one thing, one bowl that actually turned out well. And then she handed it to me. Why are you giving this to me? I asked. It's your one perfect bowl. You may never make another. I was allowed to tease her. Nobody else was. She said that I was something else perfect that she had made. And she wanted the two of us to be together. Wasn't that a nice thing to say to someone? So that is a memory that I wanted to keep. So I brought the bowl here. I was so honored by what the bowl meant. I wanted to show it to the lady I work for and tell her the story so she'd know I wasn't just a nanny, that there was more to me, that I am special, a perfect bowl filled with good things. So one day I wrapped it up very carefully so it wouldn't break, and I brought it to show Mrs. Herrick's. I held it out to her, all ready to tell the story about it, when she started unwrapping it and saying, "You shouldn't have. Oh, you shouldn't have." I stood there and my whole body felt numb. And I saw those same little points of light, like when Sophia had hit me on the head with the spoon, and she smiled politely. I could see it didn't even make her happy. And she said, "It's lovely." And she set it on the shelf with 1,000 other knickknacks that then I had to dust. Stupid girl. Stupid girl. I shouldn't keep my memories in things.
I was 12, already 5'7", skinny, so skinny, all legs. My mother always said I was like 2 legs and a voice. Not even little buds on my chest. I was a child still. Not like the 12-year-olds of today. I still had my dolls, my clip-on roller skates. I was in the 6th grade. My friend Kathy had invited me home after school. She lived only a few blocks away in a big house, one with lots of character and a huge front porch. I'd never been there before, so I was excited. She was so smart and pretty. Real blonde hair, the color of wheat. My mom said it was okay for me to go home with her after school as long as I made it home before dark. I don't remember what we played. I wish I did, so I could block out the rest of the afternoon. I left in plenty of time to get home. My trip took me on all the main roads. I was really happy walking home on my own. I'd done it before from the school. It felt very grown up. Just before I turned onto Oceanside Road, a man in a parked car called out to me asking for directions. I stepped off the sidewalk and walked closer as I really couldn't hear where he wanted to go. As I got up next to the car, I saw his penis was in his hand and he was rubbing it up and down. I'd never seen one before, but I knew this wasn't right. I thought, why is he doing that? I quickly shouted a direction over my shoulder and started walking home fast. All the way home, I kept looking over my shoulder and replaying what I'd seen. It got uglier and uglier in my mind. I think I made it home in record time. My mother asked me if I had a good time. I said yes. I didn't tell her about the man in the car. How could I even say the words to my mother? I didn't even know the right words then anyway. I would hope that today's 12-year-old would be sharper. Wouldn't let a guy like that get away with flashing his... Hopefully she'd whip out her phone and take pictures of the guy, his car, his license plate, then dial 911. Call him a creep. Make a scene so people noticed him and he couldn't get away with it. After all these years, I still see the man in my mind. I wish I didn't.
We live only our personal time when young, not the history of our time. Happy enough to swim all day in the lake, hoping not to be called in too soon for dinner. We don't read headlines. We don't pay attention to adult conversation. We don't cook or clean. We don't budget. We float on our backs and squirt fountains from our faces. Short, choppy waves bobbed me around on the surface of that very fine coolness. Pools of water slid on and off my back as slick and glistening as oil spills. My arms and legs were outstretched, my eyes sealed against a fierce summer sun. There was a smile on my face forever long. I was in dream shine, imagining all sorts of things I could be when I grew up. This is what I wanted my life, my whole life to feel like, because it couldn't get any better than this. I was 8. We don't live the history of our time, or even understand it, or even get to know it, if at all, until we're grown. And only then, when someone pulls us under. The summer I was 8, my mama was a domestic in a white family's vacation home on a lake just outside the city limits of a small Midwestern town. Mama looked after the family's 5-year-old daughter. One night while she sat on Mama's lap, watching the news on television, we saw police officers beating Blacks. Our little white girl turned to Mama and said, "They did that to them just because they're niggers?" When history crests on the personal present of our time, we don't drown in the shame of a little girl's question. We come up for air. Yes, baby, that's right, Mama replied. From then, when I was 8, right up till today, I realized my mama was our quiet history, a tidal surge, forever underneath us all.
I know the doctor's waiting, but can you give me a minute alone? And can you turn off the baby monitors and the lights on your way out? At every moment of our lives, we all have one foot in a fairy tale and the other in the abyss. Hey, in there. Hi, little one. It's your mama. Oh, wow. Could this be any more awkward? I don't know what I'm doing, what I'm saying, because it's my first time too. But I'm your mom or your mother. Yeah. And I know you're scared. I'm a little scared too. Okay, a lot. But I am ready to meet you. And it's time. I am so proud of you for hanging on. You have already proven that you are a fighter. You're a fighter. And I guess I'm learning to be a fighter too. So let's do this. Hey, so it's early, you know? And the specialist says you're small, but what he doesn't know is your history. And I happen to know that you're a tiger. You are fierce. And we are gonna do this, you and me. And I am ready, baby. Siobhan, I am ready, sweetheart. And I can't wait to meet you. So push. I am not gonna fight you anymore. We are gonna work together, see? So you just don't be afraid to give it all you got. This has been your home. My body that I thought was broken. I have been home for you. But what's amazing is that although we've never met, you are already more of a home to me than I have ever known. In ways I have waited for you my whole life. You are the miracle of my life. And I have never felt this way about anyone or anything. And we're almost there. This thing is almost done. Our journey, yours and mine, as one. Of course, in other ways, it's just beginning. We're just getting started. So don't be afraid. You won't hurt me. So come now, little one. Oh, and I can't promise much, but I promise to try and to love you and to learn, and I will grow with you. We will grow together. Fuck! Oh! Today is your birthday, and you picked it. You sure did. Oh, you picked your own birthday. Oh, that's it, sweetheart. I love you. I love you already, and it's time. It's time. Let's go.
You can know someone forever and not really know their hopes, their regrets, or pain. We'd been friends since I was 19. She was a good 10 years older than me, impeccable in an old school kind of way, not a hair out of place. A trustworthy friend, always late, but reliable. Over the years, we spoke more than we saw each other life, you know. When she finally took her first trip to Europe, I was there too, but working, so we couldn't meet. When I returned to New York, I called her, left a message. She called me back from the hospital, lung cancer, hospital visits, surgery, then rehab. Important documents were needed. I was given permission to escort her to retrieve them. Wheelchair taxi apartment 19D. When she unlocked the door to the L-shaped studio, I was hit with an avalanche of her hopes, regrets, denial, and pain. It took my breath away. 40 years of hoarding. It was impossible to roll the wheelchair into the apartment. The floor was carpeted with junk mail. Clothes were spilling out of shopping carts and falling from open doors, open closet doors, and there was no place to sit. In the midst of this chaos, she knew exactly where to find her documents. We left. This is a problem, I told her. She called it clutter. It's more than clutter, I said to her. I'll find you some help. This next time that I saw her, she met me downstairs. She said the apartment was coming along nicely. She called on Christmas Eve. She was back in the hospital. The lung cancer had returned, but there was hope, right? Then some unidentifiable, relentless thing emerged. Blood clots, fever, breathlessness, ICU, and then a ventilator. On January 17th, I was informed that she had gone home. Yes, home. Lung cancer didn't have a chance. COVID-19 took her home. Rest in peace, dear friend.
What Faces of America means to me in 3 words.
Diverse.
Diverse, divided, determined.
Creative.
All are welcome.
Optimistic.
From many one, a pluribus unum.
You know, I just want to get one being a dad thing right, because I get so many wrong. Like a few days ago, I took Alec to Camden Yards, and before the game started, he was reading his program and eating peanuts, and they start playing the national anthem. And it's this opera singer, and the guy's voice is like booming, and it's very real. I never actually heard the anthem sound like that before. And Alec is totally into it. And his eyes are wide. And you know, for some reason, I started thinking about Francis Scott Key writing that song right near there. I mean, if you go back in time, you could probably actually see the rocket's red glare from our seats. And then it hits me. Those bombs were bursting in our air. There was a real war right in our city. And I realize I sing that song everywhere, but it's really our song. I never really thought of it that way before. And it kind of, yeah, choked me up. So I look over and I see this old man a few seats away, and he looks at me like, I get it. I'm with you. America, you know, Baltimore. And Then suddenly the whole moment, Alec, the old man, the game, the war, it all seemed meaningful. Like I'd finally done something right. And then I'm really crying, like full on. And so is the old man, by the way. And then Home of the Brave, and it's over. And I want to tell Alec about everything, but he won't even look at me. He's embarrassed because I'm crying at a baseball game. And all that meaning is just, it's gone. Song's over. Everybody's yelling and screaming a million things. And that's all there is. I don't know, maybe that's all there ever is, and maybe there's no meaning. Maybe that's America. I don't know.
Be careful what you believe. We praise something's authenticity and patriotism by saying it is as American as apple pie, and yet the apple is not American at all. The apple originated in the wilds of the Central Asian nation we now call Kazakhstan. So, why do we not say something as Asian as apple pie? Or as communist as apple pie? Kazakhstan, after all, was once part of the Soviet Union. Or, given that nation's true cultural heritage, why do we not say something is as Islamic as apple pie? Could it be the apple of my eye was once a Marxist functionary? Or one of 72 black-eyed virgins beneath the veil? When we consider apples to be quintessentially American, we often call to mind Johnny Appleseed, the homespun folk hero who selflessly scattered apple seeds up and down the Ohio Valley for the benefit of all those who followed him. But the real Johnny Appleseed was John Chapman, a religious zealot, a real estate speculator, and quite possibly a pedophile. He also was, you could say, a drug pusher. You see, the apples of the early 19th century were mainly used to produce hard liquor. And only when prohibitionists threatened to take their access to apple orchards as well as saloons did the apple industry invent a nutritional angle. Rebranding, we'd call it today. An apple a day keeps the doctor away isn't colorful folk wisdom handed down through the ages. It's the PR slogan from one of our nation's most successful advertising campaigns. As American as apple pie, be careful what you believe.
Guten Tag, mein Name ist Jim. I am from New York, although I guess now ich bin ein Frankfurter. I should really learn more German than that, but I guess that's why we're all here in this class. What were your other questions? Work, family, and what do I want to get out of this class? I am a software engineer, which means I write code at Fresenius Medical Care. We work primarily in dialysis. Let's see. I have two boys, David and Mike. They are 7 and 9. 2 boys is a lot for one guy to handle, but they really are just the best. Right. What do I want to get out of this class? I want to be able to speak to people in my new country. Now, we Americans aren't really good at being immigrants. We don't immigrate to other places. The rest of the world comes to us, or at least they used to. That's why no one really speaks any second languages, because we used to think we knew everything we needed to know, except we didn't know that you should stockpile supplies just in case, or that you needed to maintain the extra medical equipment. Don't get me wrong. American engineers, we know what we're doing. If you've ever driven a Corvette down the Autobahn, you know that American engineers can keep up with the best engineers in the world. But back home in America, no one listens to the engineers, even when you tell them that the bridges are crumbling or that the internet is insecure or that nobody's been maintaining the extra dialysis machines. Germans get it though. They do the work, they check it twice, and nobody dies due to carelessness. Every day I think about the American engineer who wasn't trained, who wasn't hired, who didn't maintain the dialysis machine that could have saved my wife when her kidneys failed. He must have had something better to do. In Germany, you do train the engineer. You put them to work and they maintain the equipment that saved lives. My first week in Germany, I met one of those engineers. His name was Fritz, a real-life German hero. I wanted to tell him, Dankeschön for all the work you do. Dankeschön for being there when people need you. I want my boys to be just like you. Except he didn't speak any English and I didn't know how to say all that in German, so that's what I'm here to learn.
I knew my passport application would be unusual. I didn't expect to hear that I am not a citizen of my home country of 75 years. Because Dad was an American enemy in the Philippines, I was born in a Japanese concentration camp. My parents and I and extended family were liberated by the US Army days before scheduled mass executions on February 23rd, 1945. I was 6 weeks old. I am a citizen, says Social Security, and I vote, all based on my Los Banos internment camp birth certificate. I am a US citizen on the passenger list of the US Navy ship that transported us. I attached these proofs, plus the baptismal certificates of my parents and their marriage contract. Passport rejected. They wanted an authenticated Philippine birth certificate for my dad and marriage license. They never existed. I got an immigration lawyer, and I also reached out to the biographer of my grandfather, who built the authenticated documents with the help of the Philippine government. Well, after more rejections, a questionnaire came for my dead dad to sign about where he had lived. Lawyer time again. Then came the shock, the law. For me to inherit my dad's citizenship, my father had to have lived in the US for 10 years prior to my birth. Why? Because grandfather was naturalized. We discussed my getting a green card and waiting 10 years to apply for citizenship. That was hard. That was unreal. I showed my lawyer grandfather's biography, noting his work with the US and Philippine government. She did more legal research. She said, we have case law. The loophole was that Dad living in the Philippines was okay because the US owned it. She wrote to the passport office representing me in a 72-page brief weighing over a pound. The passport arrived by ordinary mail. The time between application and arrival was the COVID year, but no visas are needed to walk to vote without doubts. Home free.
Welcome to the world 150 feet up. Thanks for wearing the mask. I hate to have to leave the tree because the reporter gave me coronavirus. So welcome to what's been my home for the past 100 days. At the most basic level, I'm protesting the clear cutting, and I'm also just trying to save this amazing being we're in right now. Did you know sequoias don't grow anywhere else on Earth except here in this tiny little corner of California. And this tree we are sitting in right now is way older than America. This tree that we are in right now is older than Christianity. I mean, think about that. Just a few hours south of here, there are some bristlecone pines alive that are older than Buddhism. I mean, a few even older than Judaism. Now, to you and me, we think, well, why would anyone want to kill a being that is that ancient, that sacred? But look at what we're doing with human beings in this country right now. Oh, the virus only kills old people. Well, okay, then worth the risk. So when we have people who are willing to sacrifice the oldest of our own species, I'm getting off track. Around the world, we are cutting down forest areas the size of a football field every second. Every second. No amount of tree planting can make up for that. It's too much, too fast. I never felt anything except discomfort in a church. But when I entered the Grove here for the first time, I fell to my knees and I suddenly knew what God was. It's here in these living, breathing, giant, ancient beings that eat sunlight and turn it into the air we breathe. I mean, if it weren't for trees, humans literally wouldn't exist. So that's why I'm here. I don't know what I'm going to do when fire season starts.
What Faces of America means to me in 3 words.
What Faces of America means to me in 3 words. Raise your voice.
Voices are honored.
3 words about what the Faces of America means to me.
Beautiful, different, and strong.
Talented, brilliant, diverse.
Courageous, resilient community.
I love my red card from Target. It helps me justify spending too much money on stuff I probably don't need. I can tell myself, I'm saving 5%, so it's okay to buy that 24-hour lipstick that I know probably really won't last 24 hours, but it's okay. I saved 12 cents on that tube. Target. Yeah. Now that word reminds me I have a bullseye on my back. That there's someone willing to drive hours to my home, to my town, to destroy lives because they believe who and what I am is worthless. On August 3rd, I was pulling out of the parking lot at Target with my little one in the back seat when the notifications on Facebook seemed unreal. Active shooter at Cielo Vista Mall. My little girl asked me, "What's happening at Cielo Vista? Isn't that where we went to Build-A-Bear on Tuesday, Mama?" I didn't know what to tell her except that there were some people stealing from a store and that the cops were gonna get them. The most important job I have in my life is to protect and provide for my daughter. August 3rd demonstrated I may and very well may fail. I still have a red card, but I haven't been able to go back to Target.
But what I have done and what I will continue to do is work on being kind to others, no matter what. Wear my hoop earrings and my red lipstick, jam to my cumbias and my Spanish radio, wear my El Paso t-shirts, and not worry that what I'm wearing is too ethnic or looks unprofessional. Protest, attend vigils, vote. Remind Mija that she is valuable, that she is descended from immeasurably strong abuelos that have sacrificed so much to give the familia a real chance. There may be a target on my back, but I am still pushing forward. The corazón of this comunidad will not be defeated. Mija is gonna grow up fierce. She's gonna turn that target into ambition. Mija will not be a target.
They're not answering the phone. My parents always answer when I call. You don't understand, my dad doesn't know how to stay home. He works all the time. On his days off, instead of relaxing, he just takes my mom shopping or something stupid. If they're not answering, they're out. There's a shooter, damn it. There's a shooter in my hometown and they're not answering. Don't you get that? There's only one stupid mall in the entire city, and if they needed groceries, they could go to that Walmart. They could be in that Walmart. They could be dead. They're there and I'm here, and the only way I can know if they're okay is if they answer the stupid phone. Answer, damn it. Why won't they pick up? I'm worried sick, and they won't answer. I never thought this would happen in my hometown. I never. These things happen anywhere but home. El Paso is... Why didn't you answer? Are you a dad? Are you okay? Why didn't you answer? I needed to know that you were okay. I saw the news and I didn't know where you were. You wouldn't pick up, and I was scared you were going to be on the list of victims. I didn't know what to do. I'm glad you're okay. I can breathe again. Okay. I love you too. Bye. They're okay. It's a relief, but that just means someone else lost a loved one today.
You always remember the moment you knew you were called by God. I was 8. My mother's sister died, car accident. The day of the funeral, my mother was so strong. She told jokes. She even cooked for everybody when we got home. Then the next day, she said, Dominic, let's go to church. And I said, but we went yesterday for the funeral. That was for everybody else, she said. Today is for Marta. My aunt was Marta. Just like Martha, the woman yesterday. We go to the church and go up where they have the candles, velas votivas, each one in a little red glass. She gives me a quarter and says, put this into the box while I light a candle for Tia Marta. Now Sundays, she'd give me a nickel for the collection, and I would just slip it into my pocket because that way you have it in the pocket for a chocolate bar. But that day, I watched her light a candle. She has her back to me, and she's quiet. But I can see her shoulders shaking. I put the quarter in the box, and that's the day I knew I was called. Yesterday, after Mass, I was outside, talking to people, teasing the kids, and I heard, "Pa! Pa! Pa!" I knew exactly what it was. They were separated. But Martha's husband, he knew she and the boyfriend Raul would be at Mass. So he waited till they got in the car, and he went around to the side and took out the gun. Now, I'm worried what I'm going to say will sound wrong, but it is good it happened outside. That guy in Texas, Sutherland Springs, he took his gun into the church. 26 people. That was yesterday, too. And once that happened, I knew nobody would remember what happened here. Nobody would remember Martha. So, today is Monday. I don't say Mass today. I came here to light una vela for Marta. Today, that is the only calling I know.
When you close your eyes, baby girl, can you feel my breath against the thin paper of your eyelids? My breath like a delicate wall, a barrier encircling you, making a place where you are safe. Close your eyes, my baby girl. Feel my breath. I dream of metal cages. I dream of leaving home. I dream of my fingers snaking around barbed wire, snaking around your tiny fingers and not letting go. And not letting go. And this time, just this once, just this one time, not letting go when they rip you from me at the border. I dream of ripping metal like paper. I dream of ripping it with my teeth, dream of pulling apart the metal cage and letting it scatter like confetti. Did they ever open that cage? Am I looking for a girl or a ghost? I fall asleep wishing I could birth you again. Feel you slide out of me, could feel you cross the barrier of me and everything else. The peace of you coming home to the earth. I fall asleep dreaming of you. Every morning, a new birth of you, a new instance of you in the world. And this is how I've kept you. How you've remained mine. I have no picture I can put on an altar, but I cradle you. The image of you inside of me, where your body once lived, where now there's only aching. I fall asleep dreaming I go there. The only place I haven't sought your eyes. The place that lies behind the barrier. And how will I cross it? The final barrier. And when I do, what will it be like, and what waits for me there? Is it you?
The ceremony is different in every department, and the script has a basic format with similar endings. But the importance of the ceremony and the reason for the ceremony is the same throughout the United States. Here, there is a procession of police and fire vehicles with their lights on, no sirens. They usually escort the funeral procession to the grave, and there they perform great-sized services. Then on cue, the announcement goes throughout the entire city. Today, because of COVID, the procession is different. Today, we will not be going to the graveyard. Today, because of the coronavirus, people will line up in front of the funeral parlor for several blocks, all trying to maintain 6 feet of social distancing as they stand and watch the procession. They will stop all the fire vehicles and they will switch their radios to loudspeakers and turn the volume up. This way, everyone can hear the announcement go out. The announcement that I'm writing. I scramble to make sure everything is on the page, add the ceremonial ending, have it proofed by my senior dispatcher, and hand it off to my partner so that she will be ready for her cue at 3 p.m. I make the deadline on time, and we activated what we call the tones for the firehouse and the precinct that the deceased fireman worked out of. And then the following announcement is read. Fire Central to Precinct 5, Engine 11, Captain Campbell. Fire Central to Precinct 5, Engine 11, Captain Campbell. Fire Captain Richard Campbell was a 28-year veteran firefighter. Firefighting and public service ran in his blood as he followed his father into the line of service, as did his brother. Fire Captain Richard Campbell was a hero that loved his wife and their 4 children. Fire Captain Richard Campbell, this is your last call. You're going home. Captain Richard Campbell, you are end of watch. That night, when I went home, I talked to my brother about the day. My brother had already read the obituary and knew all about the death of the fire captain, the first firefighter in our town to die from the coronavirus. My brother told me that, and then really surprised me when he asked, "Don't you realize who he was?" Yeah, he was one of the fire captains that I worked with. We've been talking to him for years at work. My brother said, "No, not just that. We went to school with him. He's Karen's brother." I didn't put it all together. I worked so hard to get it all out right and out on time. I didn't realize who I was writing about. I didn't realize that the deceased fire captain grew up in the neighborhood, just a 5-minute walk from my childhood home. The deceased captain and I went to the same elementary and junior high school together. He was a year older than me. His sister was in my grade, and we went to school together until the 10th grade when I switched to the Catholic high school. His sister is married to someone I've been working with since 1992 and is now one of my police captains. I didn't realize that the deceased fire captain was a kid I knew growing up. I didn't hang out with him regularly, but I would say hello to him when I was working the halls or at school or on the playground. At work, I was the dispatcher and he was always a voice on the radio or on the phone, but I never realized that he was that kid and Karen's brother. Sometimes this job does that to you. People are only voices, and lives are something that pass away with the end of the shift. In this world, ritual is everything when it comes to death. Today, we did the last call or the end of watch announcement for a fire captain, a husband, a father, a hero, and a kid I went to school with from the neighborhood. Fire Captain Richard Campbell, this is your last call. You are going home. You are end of watch.
What Faces of America means to me in 3 words?
3 words.
Faces of America means to me humanity, representation, and visibility.
Diverse.
Our beautiful diversity.
What Faces of America means to me in 3 words.
Zeitgeist.
Resilience, family, and truth.
Reckoning.
What Faces of America means to me, it means diversity and equality.
I want to ask a question before the session ends, and it's been a question I've been wanting to ask since the beginning of our time. I have to ask because the thing is, I don't know that I can trust you unless I have an answer, and there's no wrong answer. There isn't. I have this issue, right? I don't think I can have good things in my life because I'm not good. And I swear I'm getting to my question, and I know we're about out of time, but I saw my ex last night. He was coming out of this restaurant, the one we always went to when we celebrated something. He probably got a promotion or something stupid. He always liked celebrating the little things. And it wouldn't have been a big deal if it wasn't for the fact that he was with someone attached to his arm like some stupid accessory that doesn't go with the ensemble. And he told that joke to her. The joke goes like this. What do you call a fish with no eye? A fsh. Isn't that the stupidest joke? And she's laughing and laughing and laughing so much that I just wanted to walk right up to them and yell at the top of my lungs, it's not that funny. He's not that funny. That's my restaurant you're eating at. That's my boyfriend you're dating. So I followed him home, to my home, the home I would have been sharing with him if I wasn't. They looked so happy together. So when they got home, I called his phone. He never changed the number, not even after we broke up. Isn't that weird? I mean, I changed my number for Christ's sakes. It's strange. It's like he's almost inviting me to call him back, right? That's not my question. I call him. He picks up. I breathe into the phone. I hang up. I'm not crazy. I'm just 3 screws and a dime short of a perfect package. That's my joke I'd tell him. He said it wasn't true, that I shouldn't say that about myself. I hate that he moved on. There, I was honest. Feels like we're finally making progress. Now, here's my question. Would you still see me every week if I didn't have insurance?
I lived a good life, Bobby. I got to busk in Europe a few times. I'd play my recorder. It's kind of like the flute. Never made any money, no. But I did get to see Brussels. In Belgium. Bobby, what did they teach you in 3rd grade? Math? Okay. Well, Brussels was beautiful, but Amsterdam was fun. Ah, so you know about weed. They teach you that in 3rd grade? Nah, I didn't smoke any weed. I'd already stopped doing drugs by then. I mean, I never did drugs. Is your mama around? Was your mama a good big sister to me? Ooh, well, we didn't talk for decades, but the last 2 weeks, yeah. She's been a real good big sister. Hey, you know what other cool things I got to do with my life? I got to tour South America with my punk band. Yeah, I was in a punk band. Several. You know, in South America, there's a community of punkers that take care of each other. They give you food and a place to stay while you're touring. Yeah, it's the spirit of punk. I think Peru was my favorite. Nah, Brazil. It has to be about the people. You know, as you get older, make sure you find your people. You always have family that way. Now, I don't mean like family in the sense of you and me, uncle, nephew. I mean people who care about you without having to. Makes for a good life. No regrets. None. I have none. I guess I got one regret. Her name was Elle. Is Elle? I don't know. I have no idea where she is now. Wherever she is, I hope she's not on the verge of meeting Mr. Grim Reaper like myself. Bobby, I was kidding. Hey, calm down. Yeah, I know I'm sick, but death is unpredictable. I could outlive you, okay? Oh, no, don't cry. Look, I could never tell if Elle liked me, so never told her. You know, we worked together for 8 years. With any other woman, it was clear the attraction was mutual at some point, but with Elle, neither of us had the guts to be wrong. Wrong about how the other person felt. Not very punk of us either. I had the guts to be wrong my entire life. I had half homes, half jobs, half dreams. But I didn't say a word to her. And eventually she got a new job and she left. And that was it. You know, we just said goodbye. Not even a hug, just a little awkward half wave. So I say to you, as a man rooting for you, never live any part of your life gutless. Be open about what you want. Risk failure. Take rejection. So when you're dying, you can say, there's nothing I didn't do.
I hauled 2 boxes of medical supplies to my neighbor's home today. Okay, so she lives across the hall from me, but it was a mitzvah. I only use Jewish words at random times, unless you include oi, 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 which my granddaughter, the parrot, repeats incessantly. Oh, like when she tears a page from a pop-up book, or oi, 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 when I put my shoes on the wrong foot, which happens regularly. Maybe it's my choice of footwear. Maybe it's my age. Maybe it's the shredded ligament on my left heel that no surgeon will touch because I'm at high risk for everything. The plague, another brain bleed, another PE, that's shorthand for pulmonary embolism, another DVT, more shorthand that validates the genetic blood disorder diagnosis that my daughter and I inherited from, sorry, Mom, I miss you, from my mother. And we're told by well-meaning pulmonologists with their shit-eating grins and ample bosomies that would benefit from a good underwire. I never said it was PC, did I? They say the gene might be discovered in another 5 years or so. Right. And I hope to live until then, or long enough for my granddaughter to remember me after I'm gone. And that could be sooner than later if number 45 is reelected, right? I can't even use the verb trumped anymore, even if it's a better word than, say, surpassed or outperformed or eclipsed. I swear, I memorized the fucking thesaurus. But here's the truth. If the biggest accomplishment in my lifetime is that my granddaughter's daughter says, oi, 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 then I think I can die in peace. Like 10 years from now, Guy gesund. That was my grandmother's favorite expression.
Yeah. Yes, you're in the park. Your very first park. Oh, look at your feet. This little piggy went to market. You know when this was written over a century ago? The piggy going to market meant that it was going to be sold. Probably to the slaughterhouse. How awful. No, don't you worry. No one is going to sell your toe to the slaughterhouse. And this little piggy went home. That's better. And this little piggy ate roast beef. Now we have a pig eating a cow. That's how mad cow disease spreads. Animals made cannibals by being fed the flesh waste of other animals. Next we'll have mad pig disease. No. This little piggy ate baked beans. Yeah, that works. And this little piggy had none. And this little piggy went wee all the way home. Which they don't really get to do anymore. They're all locked on pens and factory farms where they can hardly move and they're injected with growth hormones and other chemicals. Yuck. Okay, look at your other footsie. This little piggy, what's next? Whoop. Mommy will improve on this. This little piggy learned yoga. And this little piggy found peace. And this little piggy went vegan. And this little piggy started a support group for abused farm animals. And this, where's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, huh? You're missing a piggy. Oh my God, my baby's deformed. Oh my God, 1, 2, 9, you're missing a piggy. Mommy's so sorry. This is Mommy's fault. Look, Mommy went on a junk food binge when she was pregnant. Oh, I went to McDonald's 5 days in a row. Big Macs and fries cooked in animal fat. Oh, and the Mommy ate a gallon of cookie dough ice cream that was made from milk with cows injected with BGH. And oh, and Mommy ate Twinkies and pork sausage. Oh, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. 10. Oh, look, you can bend that one backward. That's how you fooled Mommy.
buddy. Hey, buddy boy. How's it going? You know you gotta pee. Come on. You gotta go pee. Come on, go through the door. You got it. Come on. Oh, that's a good boy. Oh, that's a sweet dog. Look at you go. All right. All right. Hurry up and pee, bro. Oh, don't give me that face. You know you gotta pee before bedtime. Because I can't have you taking a leak on Mr. Piggy again. I don't know what you got against that guy. It's not my fault he's cuter than you. Oh, I'm kidding, buddy. You're still the cutest. Man, I've missed this. Oh, shit. I'm gonna miss it when we have to go back to the city. At least one good thing came out of this pandemic, huh, bud? Got to come home and spend a few months at grandma's. Nice space, great weather. And at least I don't have to walk down 6 flights of stairs just to let your ass out to do your business. Speaking of which, are you done? You sure take forever finding the perfect spot. Yeah, I wish we could stay, bud. Being close to the family's been nice, but I don't think it's smart to stay. I mean, you saw what happened. Second I got here, everybody ran to me asking me to fix their problems and offer up some quick and instant solutions. And I'll fix them, or at least stress about finding ways to fix it because they're my family. I just wish they didn't depend on me so much. I don't know why I'm asking you this. You depend on me to take you out to pee, otherwise you'd piss your own bed. You're so lucky you're cute. Yes, you are the cutest little dog. It's just hard, you know? I'm here for everybody, ready to fix their situations, and yet I'm so fucking broken. It's like I've got to try to keep my sanity just to be able to listen to everything and to deal with everything, when deep inside, I'm fighting these fucking demons asking me to pull the goddamn trigger. Sometimes. You know, I think that just comes with, you know, being the oldest. First one to graduate college. First one to move to a new city. There's just this pressure in being a first generation Mexican American. You're paving the path for the future. You're guiding the new generation and opening doors for your people. And I'm asking God, why me? Sometimes I want to run away. Just grab my camera, go off into the wilderness for a couple weeks, months, years maybe, forever. But what good would that do? Oh, are you done? Sorry, I got kind of lost there for a second. Oh, you lucky bastard. I wish my life was eat, sleep, potty, and repeat. Maybe we should change places one of these days. No, I'm just kidding, bud. I wouldn't wish this hell on anybody. You're right, bud. Things will get better. Thanks, bud. You always know how to make me feel better. Now, who wants a treat? Oh, it's a good boy who wants a treat. I know you do, because you're such a good boy. Now come here. Come on, and I'll get you a nice treat. Oh, he's a good boy. Come here.
What Faces of America means to me in 3 words
To me, Faces of America means
is the melting pot.
What does Faces of America mean to me? It means freedom, unity, and reconciliation, because that's what this year really is all about in 2020.
In this together.
diversity, discussion, resilience.
I hope you guys enjoy it, and you take care.
Oh, over the nose. Thank you. Whoa, stop right there, sir. No mask, no service. I'm the enforcer. Can't let customers in without a mask. Woo! No need to bellow. Folks hear you in Tuscaloosa. Plain as the runny schnoz on your face. Woo. Ain't wearing no stinking virtue signal strapped to your mug. Oh my God, now you take 3 giant ass steps back, cause you up in my space like contagion on fleek. Hey, come on now, we simpatico, you know. I'm a renegade too, but see, I'm essential. Yeah, can't let you invade without a mask, else I'm in deep doo-doo. Oh yeah, gonna be a long day before I get home. Yeah, night jobs at Mother Clucker's Chicken Joint. Oh, wanna talk rules? Yeah, up the wazoo over by there. Food service sanitation rules hang in the kitchen, lurk over my shoulder like a creeper. Ooh, wash hands after using a restroom. Like what? Barely got time to tinkle. No time to sneak a scrub-a-dub-dub. With stanky soap, it breaks me out in oozy boils. We're talking pustules, contact dermatitis, allergists call them. Mm-hmm. Keep hot foods hot, cold foods cold. Yeah, between me and you, doesn't always happen. Sometimes frozen chicken patties, shall we say, linger on the counter. Or after they broil, wallow in the steamer. Ever worked the kitchen? Chaos, like lunatic asylum frantic. And who's gonna be wiser if chicken festers, huh? Gotta heat to save temps. Seriously? Snowflake needs a safe word with his double breast savage. Hey there. Cooked chicken to under 65 degrees F. F for fuck that noise and the chicken it rolled in on. Supposed to jab meat with a thermometer thingy, a pointy thingamabobber. But yay long, make sure chicken's hot enough. Then sanitize the jabber for the next stab. No time, son. Pointer finger here. Heat-seeking missile. Knows what's hot, what's not. Jab it into the meat. Hope it's not too slippery. If it is, who's the wiser if it's slop hit? Whoa, sir! Oh, where'd the mashless wonder skip off to? Yeah. Oh, hey, ma'am. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stoked to see you all masked up. Leopard print. Yes. Following rules protect all of the humans. You march right on in. Mm-hmm. Got that right, ma'am. I am the enforcer. Do what I gotta do. No mask, no shit. and no service.
$481, $482, $483. I was heading home. 187 Francis Avenue. That's where I stayed. Small studio apartment in the boondocks. Nothing too crazy. I worked the graveyard shift at Mickey D's. 6 years. On that grill. Making them slamming burgers. You know, it's real good when you tuck the pickles under the cheese, just like you tucking your child for a bedtime story. Then you put a little smiley face for the ketchup. Forget Chef Ramsay! Call me Chef Kimmy! I used to get these heat rashes and boils. They would come up on my forehead like World War I. Boss lady had me cleaning the toilets, the urinals, hair in the sink, all that good stuff. I used to fight with them ghetto customers too. You ain't put no pickles on my burger. The pickles is underneath the cheese, baby. I wouldn't trade it for a thing in the world. But after I would leave there, I took the same path, same roads, same 527 steps. Every day, history repeats itself. There's an oak tree to my left with the initials TM carved on it. There's an abandoned car up there on the left side of Jefferson by the stop sign. I could have done this walk with my eyes closed. It was Friday night, and the moon was bright. Not a problem in my sight. I was just walking. 484, 485, 480. You know it's late out here, ma'am. I was a respectful, because I had somewhere to be. Yeah, I know. I kept on pushing. 486, 487, 480. Did you hear me, ma'am? I smiled bigger than a slave, answering her massa. Well, yes, I did, sir. I'm just heading home. 488, 489. I need to see your ID, ma'am. But I was just walking. I went into my purse, and in the bat of an eye, I am spread eagle up against this wall. My hands are up. They're up. Don't shoot. Please don't shoot me, officer. 38 steps. My house was 38 steps away, and pop goes the weasel. I went blind that night. Once a year, I just walk this path and try to relive the good old days. I just came from Mickey D's. I couldn't get by the grill. I didn't know those steps, so I just stood outside and burgers didn't smell the same, though. It's time for me to go. It's not safe out here for people like me. History repeats itself. 492, 493, 494, 495.
I got here 3 days ago, just before Thanksgiving. It's my first time home from school since, the thing. The thing that everyone's been talking about. The thing where the planes destroyed the World Trade Center and thousands of people were murdered by terrorists. So the first thing I saw was this big, huge American flag pinned to the garage door. There was even a fresh coat of white paint right behind it. So the colors really, they stood out. My dad said that he put it up because he sees flags everywhere. And if everybody else is doing it, he figured he should too. I just laid into him. 30 years he lives in this country, like 30 years, and suddenly he decides that he's a flag guy? Doesn't he get how putting up a flag right now is just as meaningless, empty gesture, giving into the worst nationalistic elements of a country? Doesn't he have any sense of dignity? Well, then my dad reminded me of something. Look, my family is Indian Sikh. Yeah, the ones with the turbans. No, we're not Muslims, but, racists, they can't tell the difference. So on September 15, just 4 days after the attacks, a Sikh man was shot and murdered by a guy who, and I quote, wanted to shoot some towel heads, unquote. Look, I get it, but my father stopped wearing the turban like years ago, and this is California, a suburb. Like, people are cool here. So I just took the flag down. Well, today I'm outside and then I see Mr. Morris from across the street. He spots me and goes, "Sorry about that," he says. Well, I wasn't sure what he meant. All I could see was, the fresh coat of white paint. It's really a shame, and I hope they catch the punks who did it. And I was starting to get it. He said, "I don't agree with what they did, but what are you going to do? People are angry." And of course, he had to add at the end, "Your dad, he should have kept the flag up." So I guess somebody spray painted something on the garage door. Maybe something about towel heads. I don't know. My dad made sure to paint over it and put that flag up as a kind of a shield, hoping he can keep that from happening again. Now, I truly don't know what it means to have this flag up. So I told my dad he was giving up his dignity, but he needs this right now because of everything he's been through being someone like him in America. So I'm putting it back up on the garage door.
Hello, I'm Holly Day, acclaimed actress of stage and screen. You may have seen me on TV on hit shows, You Be Trippin', and Baby's Daddy Daycare. Well, I'm here to talk about a special travel offer to all of my fellow African-American travelers out there. 2031 marked a landmark year where the US Congress passed the landmark Reparation Day law. It was signed by President Kamala Harris. This law guarantees that all African-American households are annually granted $124,000 for 50 years. Our children under the age of 18 are granted free education, including private school, no questions asked. After college, or after their graduation, our children are granted free college education and guaranteed VA home loans and low interest loans, just like the white folk. That law is celebrating its 10th anniversary. And I know you're not here to hear me teach you a history lesson right now. I am here to sell you some great travel offers from a great new company, Nubian Journeys. Since the check came in, things have been pretty good for our people, yet other ethnic groups have been less than enthusiastic. My most popular character, Monquisha, would have said it best. "I be tripping." But I can't blame them. We can buy the houses we want, build where we want, and since the No Karen law was passed 2 years ago, any white woman between the age of divorce and menopause can no longer call the cops on us anymore. You would think that would have made it better. Not really. That's why Nubian Journeys is here. Have you ever had a hunger or desire to go home? No, I'm not talking about Atlanta. I mean, really go home. Back to Africa. Now, wait, hold up. I'm not on some Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X trip right now, but think about it. Black Americans are the only ethnic group in America that was forced migrated to the United States. We didn't have free will. We weren't allowed to keep our language, our name, our heritage, or our gods. We made this country the richest nation on earth. It's time to change continents and make Africa richer. Nubian Journeys has one-way trips to Ghana. That's right, Ghana. That's the home of the Kente cloth and the Watusi. And that's also where Ghanaian government has offered over 200 million acres of land, which is offered to any African Americans who just had enough of these white folks tripping on us. Think about it. You get to enjoy the cuisine. Visit other nations like Senegal, Nigeria, Egypt. Hey, you can even go to South Africa and party with Trevor Noah. Ooh, that's my boo. But what is amazing is that Nubian Journeys and the Ghanaian government can help make you dual citizens, because let's face it, there is still a lot of racists in the GOP. The only drawback is you have to learn a new language. No, I'm not talking about Ashanti or Swahili. Oh no, Cantonese. These Chinese folk run the whole world now, but they sure do make some good shrimp fried rice. So let's make the year 2041 our year and take the money and run. Let's go back to Africa and let Nubian Journeys make our dreams come true. Peace out.
My biracial angel devil push and pull is ever asking the question, am I proud to be an American? The white American man inside me sings, at least I know I'm free. And the African woman inside me rolls her eyes and says, no, you aren't. She breathes in the African desert air and smells freedom and culture and oneness with the earth and a strong, united community and family values. And he looks at her and sees poverty and governmental corruption and pollution. And she looks at him and sees the same damn thing and tuts loudly. America is home to me. I know that. I feel that. But what is it that makes it home? Maybe it's just that I know the systems, the banks and laws and job market. I know some of the highways and a bunch of the cities and what they're like. Familiarity? Is that strong enough to make a home with? It seems arbitrary. Like home is the place you happen to spend a bunch of time in, and maybe the concept of home is problematic. Like the idea that you can claim a place. Essentially, colonialism is settling down just a small scale version of settler colonialism? Holy shit! Maybe I need to move more. But I don't want to move. But I also kind of do. It's home and not home. American and not American. Just always in between. Always American and African. I can't decide to be one thing or another. I am both, always. And I'm happy to live in between. Ambiguity doesn't scare me. Mixed people inherently understand complexity. We know not to judge a book by its cover. We are comfortable in the gray and appreciate the color that it brings into the world. Mixed race people will save the world. We are the only people who know almost from birth not to assume what you are by what you look like or sound like. Assuming is painful and dangerous. When you assume about me, you erase a part of me. You put up a wall so that we cannot connect and understand each other. Listen to my complexity. Understand it. Then look at the rest of the world that way. Look at other countries that way. Look at our country that way.
I'm a mess. I'm a wreck. Okay, for anybody that does not believe that artists are essential workers, they need to watch this because oh my God, please bring back all of our beautiful artists, every single one of you. I want to see your faces. I want to see all of you. Show your cameras, all of my actors. Oh my God. You guys are brilliant, 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 shining beings. Thank you so much for being a part of this tonight. And could you guys undo your cameras and just, all of our writers are out in the attendees. Can we just give them love? Because those writers unmute yourself, everybody, just make, I want to hear noise. Just,
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Great work. Great work.
Great work. Great work.
Thank you, writers.
Oh yeah, so good.
Thank you all. And a huge thank you to Thomas Dieter tonight.
Yes.
Thomas.
Love Thomas. Woo! Thomas.
And our brilliant directors, we have Denise and Evan and Fernando and Jonathan and Al. Up for them.
Yeah. Hey, it's Jonathan.
Huge thank you to Ollie for all the
Ollie.
Ollie, yeah.
For everybody that's watching, all of you, art is essential. Telling stories is important. Sharing human experiences is what we do as artists and what we need to do as humans. So look out for 2021 for Faces America 2020 number 3, because we will be doing this again because we cannot not do it. While I'm talking, if you go to our Venmo or our PayPal, feel free to donate so we can give some money to Black Lives Matter. Please do that. Ollie, did you want to say anything while I just compose myself?
I did. I mean, it's been an incredible evening. I just wanted to thank every single one of you that's been involved, from our writers, our actors, our directors, Thomas. It's been an incredible evening. 2020 has just been this incredibly strange year and a difficult year for all of us. One that's certainly presented it's with challenges that we never expected. And these monologues that we received, all of them actually, these are only 25, but some of us read the whole of them that came in, and they all of them, they show off the beauty of America, they show off the dark side of America. But we find in it the amazing artists and the incredible people out there that can give breath to these words, to these places, to these people, and the actors tonight giving that work life. So I want to thank everybody for their phenomenal talents and what they brought to this evening.
The button is beeping on my phone, so you guys are doing it. I thank you. I love you. Other thing, can we take this screen off for a second, Thomas? I just want to show something so all these actors can see something as well. So one of the other things that we do, because we feel that artists, one of the wonderful things that we can do at the Playground Experiment is get their work and put it into put it into the world. Last year we partnered with Shakespeare & Co. to help publish a collection or an anthology of this book. Unfortunately, due to what is going on in the world, Shakespeare & Co. had to halt some of their services. So for the first time ever, Faces of America anthology #2 will be sold on Amazon. So you can go to Amazon. $2 from every book does go to the Black Lives Matter. And we did something very exciting. We put all of the actors on the book as well, and the directors. So everybody, because it's not writers, we love you, but it's art comes from all ends, and all of you did this together. So the book is on sale. You can go to Amazon and type in Faces of America Monologue Festival Anthology #2. And book number 1 will be put on Amazon shortly. So we can make sure that people can buy that. $2 from each book does go to Black Lives Matter. Again, huge thank you, artists. Give yourselves a huge, you guys are brilliant. You guys are brilliant. Audience, I cannot thank you enough for coming and supporting us, supporting Black Lives Matter, supporting the Playground Experiment, supporting art. Keep doing what you're doing, because that's what we can do. That was a lot of words. And thank you guys so much. We're gonna put this screen up just in case you forgot what our Venmo is. Artists, you can hide your screens so they could see this beautifulness. Feel free. And thank you guys so much for coming out. For those of you that are hanging around, meaning our writers, hang around for a little bit. Everybody else, thank you. Have a drink. You might need it. I do. And I love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody. Stay safe.
Yay, thank you.
Blessings.